Howdy folks, this is Manic Mark coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Art Villa, found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today I'm you, you better hope I'm not you today. Today I'm me, and I'm coming to you with a new piece of art. And this new piece of art is turned the wrong way. Why? Because I already did this once, I didn't have the sound turned on. Wait a minute. That's right. So we're going to do it all over again. And why? Because what else I got to do today? That's right. Today we got the piece of art titled, this tall, long box with the fist on top, titled Kronos, the Fist of Antisocial Injustice. That's right. Kronos, the Fist of Antisocial Injustice. And what's this all about? Well, the history behind this is I went to a place in Dayton called Mendelssohn's. They've been there forever, and I went about 20 years ago. And only thing I can remember is this barrel of radio knobs, like from the 50s and 60s, giant barrel of knobs. And I was collecting radios, and I went to look for knobs. Well, they didn't have anything from the 20s and 30s, of course. But I remember that, but I didn't remember that the place was this giant factory that somebody bought, Mendelssohn's probably bought years ago, and they filled it with surplus for decades and decades. And so I bought this mannequin fist out of a bin, and I bought a motor. I was able to find three or four electric motors. They're used, and it's hard to describe, and I don't like to take cameras into places anymore because people get nervous when you do that, and probably with good reason. So I don't do that, but it's cold, it's poorly lit, it's dirty, there's stuff all over the floors, it's all just a mishmash. I know they do their best, but it's huge, so there's just stuff all over the place. And stuff in aisles, and the wrong stuff is there here and there, half of it's broken. And it's just like this wonderful, salvage place. It's just a place that you just don't find very often. So I'm going to go back there more often now. So I bought some motors and this mannequin hand, this fist. So I came up with this idea, Kronos, the Fist of Antisocial Injustice. Why? Because I was thinking about, it's on. I'm so paranoid now. Okay, I was thinking about, you have a party, and, when you get older, I just invite people to a party that just agree with me. And you think, oh, well, how boring is that? Well, I don't care anymore. I'm older. And I know what I know, and that's the end of it. So, but if you're perhaps a little bit younger, now I don't just, people come up and they're here, and I don't say, I'm nice, I'm sensitive about things, but if somebody's at your party, they aren't sensitive, and they're whining about all these social government issues, and it's starting to drive you crazy, well, you need to turn to the piece of art. For instance, on the back, I've written, if you can see it, some of the things that drive me crazy that people say. They say stuff and they haven't read any history. So, first of all, that's just like a concept that troubles me. Is you go to a history book, read about the political history leading up to World War II. I mean, just that's recent. It's all the same. Nothing ever changes. But read some history and understand the mechanics of how things happen in the world, and then you may have a better idea of how you're being manipulated. Okay. Then one of my top favorite things that I hear is, and this is after a presidential election when somebody's voted for somebody, and you point out some inconsistencies, and they say with some embarrassment, it wasn't supposed to work out like that. What do you mean? I mean, I don't need a crystal ball to see how things are going to work out, and they work out like I kind of figured they're going to work out. And then people complain about it, like, I don't get it, Okay, so the next one is make the world rotate around me. Well, people don't actually say that, but when they start complaining about things and they want things to change, or they want laws to be enacted, it usually has something to do with some selfishness on their part, rather than just allowing people to have freedom in general, okay, and to be left alone to do what they want. So that's the rotate around, world around me statement that always gets me. Okay, what about the children? Well, when all else fails, they always back up to all the children in the universe are going to die unless we enact something, or have this program. Well, No, they're not. Okay, time for change? Well, how about a time for no change? I vote for that. Hope? Yeah, well, hope's a good thing and we all hope, but maybe I'm not hoping for what you're hoping for. The evil one must pay. Every political group has to have a scapegoat, okay? And you got to be real careful of that, because you could be easily led down the wrong path, and pretty soon your, evil one is in a gas chamber somewhere. And you're going, well, I didn't really mean all of them. And it's too late. Okay, it will only cost this much. And, I love it when people buy into that. Well, they said it was only going to cost this much. Well, no, it's never that much. It's like buying a car. Well, sir, I think you need undercoating and rust proofing and windshield tinting and a stereo system and electric windows. And you see how it goes on, and pretty soon you've spent way too much money. Okay, we can fix that what's broke. Well, you created what's broken. You think you could fix it? There's no way. Okay, there you go. Those are my favorite things. And then you just start to get angry inside. You internalize. It's a pressure cooker. It starts building up. You get angry, and that's you getting angry. And then you just want to go crazy. But the conversation's not over yet, because this is on this side. Here's a bomb heading towards the city. How these conversations usually end up is that either you just try to just come to some kind of, you can't just, there's no such thing as compromise, because you know what you know and that person knows what they know. But usually what people will do is just like say, well, they're all crooks, and that's just their way of dismissing you and trying to be nice about things. Well, I don't, that train of thought bothers me, because, and if you believe it, it's one thing to dismiss the person you're arguing with in a conversation, to use that, but it's another thing just to actually believe it, because then you allow evil people to do evil things, because you're basically giving them a free ticket to do anything, because you've just dismissed the whole problem and you don't care about it. That's just the way I look at it. And then there's the people, the next step is the people that just get really angry and just say, I just wish 3/4 of the people on the face of the earth would just die. And that would somehow make life, easier. I know some people like that, and they think that they're insulated, and they won't be. The people that, the 25% of the 25% that's left, they're going to come and get you. I'm telling you that. Okay, so there you go. It's Kronos. And why Kronos? Well, Kronos is a borrowed name from a 50s science fiction movie of the same name. And it's about this giant black device that came from space that's stomping through the countryside, and apparently only in the U.S. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but it goes to power stations and it sucks up power. It's an alien device for stealing power. Why such an advanced alien race could not send this device to the sun or figure out how to get power out of something else? I don't know. No, they got to come to Earth and suck power out at Hoover Dam. Okay. Great movie. Here's a clip.
A metallic vampire stalking the Earth. Its purpose, to drain it of its energy, every last bit of vitality. Kronos, absorbing all the dynamic strength of this universe, to make him so powerful as to withstand any force.
So there you go. So you think the fun's over? No, why? Because at the end of this conversation you're having at the party that's driving you crazy, and there's no, you can see that everybody's just getting real tense. You just say, look at well, you just pointed out, you point out the piece of art, Kronos, the Fist of Antisocial Injustice, and you just say, well, yeah, oh yeah, well, just rotate on this. And then you turn it on, and the fist rotates, and everybody laughs, and you've dispersed, you've diffused the uncomfortable situation, and somebody goes in the other room, they're looking for some Vaseline, and you say, well, it's not that kind of party, I wish you would just leave now. And then you unplug it, and the fun's over, and everybody's happy. And I hope you're no more afraid now than when you clicked the clicky thing.